We were looking for a quick escape by the sea. LA seemed a little too far, so we picked Santa Barbara. Turned out it was a perfect choice for a 3-day getaway. Let me show you why. Good morning. We woke up bright and early today because we are going on a road trip. We kind of booked last minute. Couldn't find a nice hotel that had 2 nights available, so we booked 1 night for today, and then we have to find the second hotel for tomorrow. And I'll probably use the 5-hour drive to focus on that. And I will share our favorite places, the hotel options we considered, coffee and restaurant recommendations, and some spots with beautiful views. So see you in Santa Barbara. 5 hours later, we're finally in Santa Barbara, and our first stop is trying to get food. So the place we're going is open till 2, so we only got 45 minutes. And when I called, the lady told me that they're usually very busy and they had a couple of tables open. Fingers crossed that we can actually get food, because a lot of places here close between lunch and dinner. This might be our only chance to get any food till the evening. So we got here on time. When I called, they sounded way busier than now because there was literally no line, so we were just able to order and grab the table. And so we're gonna get some food. Alessia Bakery turned out to be a really nice place if you're looking for something unique, like one of those pastries or a nice brunch. We got an avocado toast and a sandwich, both delicious, and then we also enjoyed their eclair and some coffee. We are at Santa Barbara Beach. The town itself has this unique feeling of almost a suburban town, but in a good way. It has its own sort of vibe and a mood, and even the appearance. There's a lot of Spanish architectural influence. At the beach, you have this long alley that is palms on both sides, and then the backdrop of a mountain in the distance, which is very beautiful and gives this very recognizable feel about Santa Barbara. So we just arrived, and they have this app where they tell you how to check in. So from the parking space, walk along the side of the house to the front door. Da-da-da-da. Okay. It should be on the second floor from the picture, so I guess it's here. Rose Harbor, that's us. Let me give you a quick tour. We got the Superior King room in the craft house. The room was pretty simple, big bed in the middle, couple of side tables. We also had a chair on the side, and we had a bathroom. It was actually almost as big as the room. Really beautiful decor, seamless design, and very pretty. I think they just remodeled the house to make it into a hotel, but it looks very charming. So this is our harbor room, and then downstairs they also have common areas, so let's go check them out. So now we're on the ground floor, and it has 3 different areas. So this is the kitchen, and they even have the laundry room behind that we're not going to be using, but on this side you can see it's like a full kitchen. This is the island. They don't have breakfast unless you book the whole place, but you can cook your own breakfast in this kitchen. This is dining room. You can see this big table behind me. I think they're catering to groups because it has 4 rooms and sleeps 8 people. So it's pretty cozy overall and feels quite spacious. So here you go, the little tour of the house, and we're gonna go enjoy the last bits of sun, and then we booked a dinner close to the beach, so we're gonna go to the beach, see the sunset, and then go for dinner. Just before the sunset, we had a really nice walk at the old town in Santa Barbara. It's a very pretty street with a lot of shops along the way, beautiful architecture, and just a few steps from the beach. And let me tell you, the sunset was so beautiful. The sun was shining through the palms, and once you enjoyed that view, you can also go to the pier and have view on the harbor.
Sometimes I take a walk, but I forget about the clock. I can slow down.
And once the sunset was out, we went for dinner, and the place we chose is called the Lark. This is a really nice restaurant. We chose this delicious pasta, and what I really loved is that they bring you this salty popcorn as a snack. They had some pepper and some spices, so we really enjoyed the dinner there, and if you're going, we recommend the pasta for sure. It's time to check out from the hotel, and I just wanted to do a quick review of our stay here. I can't say that I liked it, to be honest, because the room itself was rather small. We took the biggest room in the house, but still was just like the big bed in the middle and like the chair where you had to put all of your stuff because there is no wardrobe. They have a wardrobe in the bathroom, but then there's a steam shower and there's no window, so I don't think it's the best place to put your clothes. One of the reasons we choose this property is design and just how beautiful the place is. Also, when you see a newer design, you know that it's a newer property or it's been refurbished recently. This one didn't have a lot of reviews, so we assumed it was just brand new. It can be charming, but it's right on the road, and though it's not the most frequented road, it still had a lot of cars passing in the night, so it's not really the most calm environment to sleep in. The other things too was a little confusing on the listing. It was described as bed and breakfast, and we read some reviews where people said the breakfast was amazing. And then when we asked the host, it turned out that you can only have a breakfast if you book the place out. So they have 4 rooms, and if you book all 4, you can hire a private chef, or maybe it comes with the booking, I don't know. But either way, if you just book a room, you don't have any breakfast. So that's my review. I hope it was helpful. We're staying in a different hotel today, and we considered 3 more options. So I'll share all of them so that you can pick a perfect place for yourself when you're in Santa Barbara. We are going for breakfast, and for today we picked Alessia Bakery. It looked amazing on photos, and all of the food options looked delicious. So here when you come, you have to order at the counter, grab your number, and pick up the seat.
Well, anytime I walk up to a screen and order, I feel like I'm doing the work. They make good food and they bring it to you, but it'd be better off just QR code ordering system when you sit down. And
So your coffee is no good.
when you know how to make a good coffee at home, it's another challenge when we have coffee at restaurants.
Well, mine was steamed okay, but it's just the beans itself are not good. We're just picky. So plan for today.
Find the arches.
Yeah, so there is this soap opera that was extremely popular in Russia when I was a child, and it's called Santa Barbara. The majority of it was filmed in LA, but the show opening, they have these arches. Apparently there is a church called Old Mission of Santa Barbara, and this is what was in the opening, so we're gonna drive there. So before we go, what is the conclusion on this one?
I mean, the food was good. The coffee was, well, we
Average?
talked about it because it's just, we'll never be happy with coffee at a place like this.
The food is 8,
Sure, yeah, the food was good.
coffee is 6.
That's about right.
Yeah, okay, and so overall I'd say 7 then?
About a
Yeah.
7 out of 10.
Service we give 5 because you have to do self-order, self-sitting,
Water, silverware, napkin, like everything self-serve.
yeah. We still recommend this place.
You should try it. You'll like the food. We have different takes on the experience, but you know, if you're in the US, it's normal.
Yeah. But overall I would say this place is 7 out of 10 and we recommend it. And we're gonna go find this famous arches I talked about, and then
Then the beach.
Then the beach. If you were watching soap operas in the 90s, you might recognize the place behind me. This was the place that they filmed in a famous TV show opening called Santa Barbara, and the real life place is called Old Mission in Santa Barbara. And I actually looked at the opening and I was trying to find the angle. It's definitely the place, so the angle is very similar to what I'm looking at now, and then the arches that are on the side is where we're going next because it's a different shot in the same opening. So now I'm on the second spot, and this is the one with the arches, and this is, I think, exact same spot, and we actually found a better angle for the church front. So turns out it's just the opposite side, but it looks exactly the same. So here you go. This is how you hunt movie locations. For lunch, we decided to go to Ritz Carlton Hotel. This is a really beautiful place. It also has this iconic white artist architecture, and we had a really good memory of having a meal there a few years ago. So we went to the pool bar where they have some of the food, and we ordered pizza. Oh, it's crunchy.
That's good.
As we had our lunch a little ways away, we were back right by the sunset time, and we decided to just enjoy Santa Barbara's beach as yesterday. And there is honestly no better way to spend evenings here than enjoying the sunset. The views are amazing, the atmosphere is very chill, and it reminds me of Santa Monica, but in a much more calm and less touristy way. If you're in Santa Barbara, the best place for the evening, especially at the sunset, is definitely the main beach promenade. So we checked into the second hotel, and this trip was last minute, and so it's hard to find good places without too much research. I like how it was in photos. It's nothing like particularly fancy, but it looks nice. So some things that give this hotel extra points is almost no carpet. I hate carpet in the hotels because it never gets cleaned enough. Even in the house, it's not my favorite thing, but in the hotel, people walk in the shoes and it's just always dirty. Another point is they actually have bathrobes, which is very unexpected, and they have a steamer by default. I've never seen it actually, even in 5-star hotels. They usually, no, but it's true.
It is true.
They usually have like ironing board and iron, but it's sometimes in the room, sometimes you have to request it. But anyway, and then there's an extra blanket, which is always very handy to have it by default. So this hotel is better just A, for the size of the room, B, for absence of rug. Oh, the doors are not squeaky. This was a thing in our previous place too. They have options for coffee and tea and the fresh cookies. Even though I'm not a cookie person, it's still nice. And when you come to the hotel, it smells like cookies, which is always pleasant. There's this cool thing. It's a beach tar remover. There is oil production not very far from us, so I think it's like a common occurrence that you might get a tar on your feet in the beach. We didn't, but actually this is a very handy thing, because once I've got a tar on my feet in Thailand, and this is like a hell of a task to remove. So I didn't know there is a special thing that exists, and they put it in the room, which is very nice. We found a dinner plan, so we're going to the place called Blackbird, and it's the restaurant of the Californian hotel. We ordered an eggplant, it's a main, and then the focaccia was a starter, and focaccia was huge. When you just look at the size, you would think it's the other way around. But I mean, both things were very good. It's a place I would recommend, especially if you have a nice occasion and you want some fancy dinner, so this is a good place. We're checking out from the hotel, and we decided to check out earlier so that we can enjoy the town a little bit more. We have a couple of coffee shops we wanted to try, and then the breakfast place. And after that, we wanted to get to the Bixby Bridge for the sunset. And because the road is closed, we kind of have to do a little detour, and we have to drive through Carmel and then from Carmel to the bridge. So that's the plan for the day, and then after the sunset we're just gonna drive back to San Francisco, and luckily it's just about 2 hours instead of 5. The hotel room turned out to be much better than original impression, so we can recommend this hotel, especially for the price and cookies. So today we're doing a 4-part breakfast because we wanted to try a few coffee shops in the area, and we are going to our first coffee that's called Dune. We are really picky about the coffee quality, and this one did not disappoint. We also tried their scone, and it was very delicious. So Dune is definitely one of the recommendations. There is a few more places that I will cover in the upcoming episode dedicated to coffee shops in Santa Barbara, which is coming up soon on this channel. But while this one is in the works, I wanted to share one more place that we really enjoyed in Santa Barbara. This one is called Dart. They have 2 locations. There's one in the city center. We went there briefly yesterday, and they just opened this new location on the pier, and this is where we're going now. is actually our number one out of all the coffees we tried. It's a great coffee. So I actually hesitated which one is better, Dune or Dart, but I think they're quite close to each other in terms of taste. But this one has a really beautiful location overlooking the harbor with all these beautiful boats, and on a sunny day it's just perfect. So here you go, our coffee tour with the final rating coming up. So we're done in Santa Barbara and we're starting our drive to the Bixby Creek beach. We're finally at the bridge, and I think we got lucky with the sun because it's like 30 minutes before the sunset and it's really trying to go through the clouds, and we were just also very lucky with the spot. We got like right
The last spot.
Well, I don't know if it's the last, but
No, right? You can't park anywhere else. What do you mean?
well, right when we were ready to park, there was a guy who was leaving, so we got the spot. Let's go see the bridge and fly some drone. The sunset on Bixby Bridge is a must for any road trip in California, so if you're planning your own adventure to Santa Barbara, don't skip on this one. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.